5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Bengals in the Super Bowl, baby. First, we vandalized a car. Then we went up on Tannehill and placed our flag. Then we went to my homes, turned into my apartments. Y'all, let's just get to it.
Nacho.
It's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, yeah, baby.
Want them one in the clutch. We don't give a what. Punch it in through the gut. Mixing on the rush. It's that bingo talk. Facts in the jungle with Raxx. It's that jungle fever. Make them all believe us. Now they think we crazy. Cause it's who they baby.
How we doing, everybody? This is the Jungle Fear Podcast. Welcome back. It's been a while. Took a bit of a break. We had a lot of busy stuff going on. But, man, what a way to come back.
Man, what a way to come back, man. Oh, my God. Just like every fan out there, just like me and you, Vince, it's been a long time coming, man. It's been a long time coming. Before we get started, y'all, since it's been a long time, let's share this moment together. Let's share this moment.
Here we go. Just like last game. Just like last game. Let's go to the bowl.
The kick is up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We did it!
Yeah.
Tom, what a play, man. Good luck. Moving it on. Yeah.
The Cincinnati
Win it all,
Bengals
baby.
have won the AFC Championship in overtime by a score of 27-24 over the Kansas City Chiefs. After the Chiefs led in this game 21-3.
We go into the show, baby. We go into the show.
I mean, I feel they pain, man. I feel it.
You're going to be the greatest receiver to ever do this. Don't ever let nobody tell you nothing different, bro. Go get you a ring, bring it back home, and handle business. I love you. Yep.
You talk about poise. You talk about earned confidence. These guys never flinch.
I'm happy for you, cuz. I love you, man. Love you too, man. Happy for you. Love you, bro. Awesome, dude. We're not done.
Damn, year one.
Year one, yeah.
Oh my God. I'm glad I stopped crying before all those interviews, bro. My nose was snotty as hell.
The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to the Super Bowl for the third time in franchise history.
It is as good a turnaround as has ever happened in the history of the National Football League.
Super Bowl, we coming. Super Bowl, we coming.
I want to cry again so bad, bro.
Me too. That's what I'm It's on us.
Oh, man.
All right, man.
That's lovely, man. You can just see the pure emotion in all the players in that clip, man. And
Oh, yeah, man.
I felt every bit of it, man. I honestly, I was very close to just busting out crying after that. I shed a little bit of a tear, but nothing
did.
too crazy.
Yeah,
Nothing too crazy,
nothing
but
too
know.
Nothing
But
too crazy. I did shed a little tear.
yeah, but it is nice to see that all the players and stuff, they're all invested in this franchise just like us, and everybody wants to win. It's very refreshing to see all the energy and the just the excitement around the team. It's very refreshing.
It is. It's very refreshing, man. And to add to that is it's a relief. It's a relief. It's a weight off your shoulders. And it's a good feeling because you just know you're gonna. It's just this feeling in me to know we're gonna be here again. Like people think I'm crazy. Like, man, I see the 3 to 4 Super Bowls out of Burrow, man. I mean, honestly, man, the way these coaches is coaching and the way they focus, man, they keeping these young players together. And I really think it's got a deal to do with the young players, man. They don't got pressure because they so young. They maybe next year the pressure will hit them. Like, damn, it's the big thing. Like they,
Don't say that, man. Don't say that.
I mean,
Don't say that, man.
not the pressure of losing. I'm saying the pressure of like, that players go through when they reach the big game. These players ain't pressured, man. These young players, they don't know. And what they don't know is what they don't know.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, but going into this game, against the Rams in the Super Bowl, man, honestly, hold on, before I go any further, that is just insane to say. Just before we go into this game against the Rams in the Super Bowl, that is insane to say. I never thought I would be saying that this year, but just going into that position though, really when you look at it, man, like these guys, they've already been through like some of the biggest games of their careers so far, national championships in college, tournaments, the playoffs already. They won every playoff game, didn't flinch one bit. They like they're used to this, man. They're used to this. Now the Super Bowl, of course, is obviously an entirely different game. That's a completely different story. But even with that, man, I think they're ready, man. I think they're ready.
I mean, I know they're ready. I mean, I have no doubt about this Super Bowl game. The only thing that it really, we're gonna get into it here later, but the only thing that I'm gonna brief on it, the only thing that worries me is the offensive line. I mean, other than that, man, we have the tools to beat the Rams. You know, I I I just don't see any other team bringing to the table what we're bringing to the table, besides our offensive line. You know,
Yeah, and I 100% get that, but before we do get to the Rams game, though, I think it's important that we do a little bit catch up
yeah,
on
of
the Jungle
course.
Fever podcast because we've been out for a few weeks, ever since week 18. We haven't gotten back to it since. This is our first episode back. Let's start recapping these playoffs, man. So let's start with the Raiders, man. I just want to hear your thoughts on it because I got quite a bit to say about the Raiders.
Um, I think that when it comes to the Raiders game, now that I think back to it, I'm gonna go to that final drive. You know, uh, I was like, no, not this, not this, no, no, no. Like how, how you were just stopping these guys all game? Like I don't get it. You know, and I was worried. I was worried, and I wouldn't say pissed off because I thought that we played pretty good. I thought that thing of certain things that I was seeing that could have been better, certain play calls. Um, but I thought that when we did get the interception, to seal the game, I thought that what I was hoping, I was like, man, I hope that Zach learned from this because these are the playoffs. I mean, it was times where I thought he was supposed to go for it. It was times where I thought he wasn't supposed to go for it. I was just so like, man, how? I'm like, I was so confused. I really was confused, and I thought that, and I was just happy that we won. Don't get me wrong, I was happy and I was excited. I jumped up for joy. I ran in the next room, all type of stuff. But they didn't win the way I wanted them to. But don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Don't take it as complaining. We just going over and elaborating over it. I thought that we could have really, really destroyed them for real. You know, when I went back and looked at the game, I thought we really could have destroyed them. And I'm just glad we won. But I didn't like our offensive line play. I ain't like our offensive line playoffs, but it definitely it definitely was shaky to me. Um
I thought they played decent in the first game. They only let up 2 sacks.
yeah, man, it's just the pressures to me, man. It's the pressures.
Yeah. I
Wh-
think obviously the worst game was the Titans game, but the Chiefs game, even though they only let up 1 sack, I think they did worse against the Chiefs than the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think it would have been more than 1 sack if Burrow didn't fucking run and break loose.
Burrow is magical, man. Burrow's magical. There's no
Yeah,
other way to put it.
I mean, the guy's extremely smart, man, and the way he manipulates the DBs is crazy. If you give him time, he will manipulate any DB, even Jalen Ramsey. But I'm not saying
Absolutely.
he's gonna have the time. We'll get to it, but back to the Raiders game. I already knew that Waller was gonna get his. I
We
just didn't
limited
think
him. We limited him actually pretty decently, honestly. I don't remember more than like 3-4 catches he got.
at the end there, he was doing his thing that last drive.
Yeah. At the end, he got
Um,
good.
yeah, I was really surprised with I really give it up for Derek Carr, man. I'm really surprised for Derek Carr to go down there. I know he threw an interception, and I've been saying this, and Raiders fans that I know be mad at me. I'm like, he's an Andy Dalton 2.0. I'm sorry.
Not quite. I would save that more for Ryan Tannehill. I
I
would
think
save
Ry-
that more for
I think
Tannehill. I think Tannehill's
Andy Dalton is about the same as Tannehill. I think Carr's better than both of them.
I think of Carr more closer to like Carson Palmer in a way, like post like elbow injury Carson Palmer. That's what I think of Derek Carr.
Yeah, because
But
I mean, he got the arm. If you're open, he's gonna throw it.
oh yeah, for sure. But just going on this Raiders game, man, like heading in, it was basically like do or die. Like this is what this team's gonna be known for going forward. Are we gonna remain in the eyes of the media and stuff like as these worthless, pathetic franchise? Or are we gonna go out there and we're gonna take it and we're gonna flip a page? And that's what this game was all about, man. Was flipping a page, man. It was insane. A few plays I would like to go over and stuff. A lot of people talk about the ref balling in it. While I agree the refs were atrocious that game, I can't deny that. I think people are blowing up the whistle play way out of proportion. Honestly, I feel like when you look at that play, Burrow never went out of bounds,
No,
right?
never.
Burrow never
No,
went out of bounds.
no.
And when he threw the ball to Boyd, it was about I don't know. He was like a fraction of a second right before hitting his hands. Like, and then that's when the whistle blew. Nobody on that Raiders defense would have had the reaction time to react to the whistle and stop playing before he caught the ball.
Yeah.
Nobody on that
If
Raiders
you
team.
watch,
And if you watch the play, Tyler Boyd was wide open, wide
yeah,
open. He did his thing. Tyler Boyd did his thing. And to me, when you look back on the whistle, I know by the official rules, when a whistle blows in the middle of a play before a play ends, it's supposed to be ruled dead, and you have to replay that down. But it doesn't matter, man. It's basically like they fixed the mistake because they weren't supposed to blow the whistle in the first place. They weren't supposed to blow the whistle in the first place. So we always look at these games where ref ball is a huge factor. And we're always saying to ourselves, man, I wish the refs could have fixed that, man. I wish the refs just could review that and like just change the outcome to the correct call. That's essentially exactly what happened here. And people are still complaining. But you know why people are complaining? Because it's the Bengals. We're known as the poverty franchise. The franchise is supposed to stay at the bottom. So they want to keep us at the bottom. That's basically what it's saying. But I understand the rule book. I understand what it's saying. But in that department, that was even though it went against the rules, that is a good call. I agree that rules should be consistent, but morally wise and just naturally speaking, that was the right move. Because he didn't step out of bounds. He got the ball off, and by the time the Raiders players could even react, the ball was already caught. So it didn't really matter to me. So I think people blew that out of proportion. Max Crosby, Yannick Ngakoue, and that defensive line, they rallied up 2 sacks, which I got to give them credit for. They were good sacks. But I also got to give credit to the O-line because they handled them way better than expected. A lot of people were expecting like 4 sacks probably heading in that game. Cut that in half, limited the pressures a decent amount, and they did good. I really can't complain about the offensive line for that game. Jamar Chase push-offs, man. People keep trying to push this push-off narrative. It's ridiculous to me how they keep trying to push it over.
it's more
and
of a
over
hand.
and
It's
over.
more of a hand swat.
Exactly. It's a hand swat. Jamar Chase is one of the top 5 most physical receivers, and maybe you could argue players in the entire league. All right, Jamar Chase is physical and he is strong.
Yeah,
All right, he does not push off. He lightly tapped. Who was it? It was Desmond Trufant. He lightly tapped his back, and Desmond Trufant basically flopped and got off balance. He barely tapped him, and he was still in the wrong position. He should not be looking backwards like that as a corner anyway. That was on him entirely.
yeah, but
So, but when I look at the game though, going forward, you just can't call him. You just can't get him for pushing off like that because he didn't push off. He didn't push off. Um, and then finally, going towards the defense. Defense, this was the first of many games of them stepping up and just absolutely dominating and like outright going crazy. Like they were good this game. And obviously they let up some points coming back or whatever, but even throughout that, they were still making big plays and giving the offense chances to maybe put the game away and separate them a little bit more. On that final drive, man, just like you said, I really thought that was going to be it. I really thought I was witnessing the same exact movie once again, and it was scary. And then Jermaine Pratt did what Vontez Burfict couldn't, and he sealed the game, man. And
Yeah.
Jermaine Pratt's my MVP for that game. Jermaine Pratt is my MVP for that game. He put that game away, and he did what 2015 should have been. And I gotta thank Jermaine Pratt for that.
Yeah, and I totally understand, man. That's what I said. I mean, we felt the same, up until he intercepted that. I was like, you know, hope this is the same narrative. But it's actually the narrative has changed, man. The culture has changed. This team is so different than the 2015 team. Way more disciplined, way more sound, way more confident,
And way
um,
younger.
way younger. I mean, you see Burrow under pressure win. I mean, it could be five guys around him, and this guy's like, let me
He
get
can
over
get
here.
sacked 9 times, and it don't matter.
Yeah, like
He's
I'm
still gonna
going.
stay
Yeah.
composed to deliver
As long
that
as you
killer
got me
shot.
close, as long as my defense keeps me close, it doesn't matter how many times you sack me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So moving on to the Titans game.
Yeah, man, going in this Titans game, I I really thought that was a really good shot to win. But it was gonna depend on how Derrick Henry looked coming into this game. Thank goodness Derrick Henry did not look like Derrick Henry coming into this game
That's because
because
our
that was
defense was on his.
for sure. But I gotta say it was also because of him coming back from injury. He basically had a steel plate in his foot. Um, to me, what was crazy is
Play and
well, it was crazy that they didn't play Deshaun. I forget his full name, but Foreman, number 7, their backup running back. I'm
he
surprised they
was
didn't play
gashing
him more.
us.
Yeah, I know, like that one drive where they used him more than Derrick Henry. He got busted. It was like in 3 plays they were in the red zone already about to
Like,
score. I mean,
jeez.
it was on 3 or 4 runs, man. 3, 4 runs from Foreman. Foreman was killing us. I'm surprised. I feel like they
Definitely.
would have won. I feel like they would have won the game honestly if they put him in. I'm
But they was
shocked
too busy trying to ride the Derrick Henry train.
Yep, I'm shocked they didn't go with him after that
And
more.
they say
That
you need a
was
little luck. You need a little luck to
Mhm.
make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, for
Any
sure.
team.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
things just turned our way on that game. And I felt like we was in trouble when Tannehill had the ball the last drive. I was like, they're just gonna keep feeding it, these short passes, these string passes, these screen passes. And then he threw it. And when he threw it, I was praying he threw. I said, please let him air it out. Because airing it out, I felt like was our only way. And then luckily again, we get the interception. Eli Apple pops it in the air. You know, Logan Wilson intercepts it. Once again, 2 interceptions in the playoffs so far on these 2 games to take it to where we win it. Um, when we got the interception, I knew it was ball game. Then in this game, I knew this game. I was like, oh yeah, it's ball game. It's ball game. We about to go down here, and Evan about to come out here, and take us to the next level. And just to hear what Evan was saying before we went out there, like, oh, guess we going to the AFC Championship.
He's cold, man. He's cold.
Cold, man. It's cold as ice. Joe Burrow is cold as ice, and Evan McPherson is cold as ice. These young cats is out here showing them how to do it, man. And
Joe Shiesty.
right, Joe Burr. like
Joe
this,
Brrr.
so this is very exciting, man. This is very, very exciting. And I thought that the 9 sacks in the midst of that game, I was worried, man. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, can somebody slow down this front defensive 4 that's killing our quarterback? Like, somebody, please. Like, but luck was on our side. We pulled it out, and I just I couldn't express the way I was feeling. I was in Vegas at the time. I did jump for joy I went berserk, and I had put money on them, so I had won again. I put money on them every game this playoffs. I was
Really? You put money on the Bengals every game?
every game, even this Super Bowl game, but I put more
Oh
on them.
man.
Like, yeah, man. Like,
So how
I'm
much have you won so far?
so far I have won like $600.
Oh man, you made bank.
Yeah, and then if I win, if we when we win the Super Bowl, you can add 500 to it, so it'll be 1100.
Oh damn, that's some good
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
Yeah, going on this Titans game again, man. It was just the battle between the trenches in this game was honestly incredible to watch. Like both sides like played phenomenal, and I gotta say the Titans in my eyes that game they cemented themselves as the best pass rush in the entire league. Honestly, I was talking with Titans fans in some Twitter spaces and stuff before the game, and they were bringing up statistics and stuff, and they were talking about their defensive line. And credit to them, they're absolutely right. That defensive line is completely ferocious, and the way they communicate with each other and set up the schemes, it's on a completely different level. Bud Dupree, I heard rather, when he's in the game, the Titans the pressure rate for the Titans completely doubles whenever Bud Dupree's
wow,
in the game. He completely elevates that pass rush, even though it doesn't show on the stat sheet and he doesn't get as many sacks. He completely elevates that Titans pass rush 100%. Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry, Bud Dupree, and all them guys, man, they are ferocious. That is definitely the best pass rushing unit in the entire league.
and shout out to
Um,
Tannehill for giving us that game.
yeah, for sure. But he gave us the game for sure. But also, man, credit to the defense for just taking it, man,
Yeah,
taking it.
yeah,
DJ Reader solidifying himself as one of the best, and I mean the best nose tackles in the entire league, man. With that game, he played phenomenal.
straight legit, and and I feel bad for him because he don't get the glory that he should.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I have to constantly tell people about him. I have to constantly share content. Like, look, my guy is doing this. My guy is shutting down Derek Carr. Like, this is my guy. Like,
you mean Derrick Henry?
Derek Henry. My bad.
You
Well,
good?
Derek
You
Carr
good?
too. So hey,
Yeah. And losing Larry Ogunjobi, honestly, that one really sucked. But I'm thankful that we absolutely fleeced, and I mean fleeced the Giants by getting BJ Hill for Billy
definitely,
Price.
definitely.
Actually, wait, didn't we get a 7th rounder with BJ Hill too, along with trading Billy Price?
I'm not for sure. I have to look that up.
I'm pretty sure we got a 7th rounder along with BJ Hill for Billy Price, which makes it even more of a robbery.
God, man, just
Eh,
that interception last week, man, was so fucking bananas.
I know, but to wrap up this Titans game, man, Joe Burrow just ultimately shows that he doesn't fold under pressure. He's the man for the job 100%. He's turning this franchise around completely with that game. Evan McPherson cold as dinner after 3 hours. um, but they they all together as a unit, man. They really it was a team win, because everybody was playing
Definitely.
at their a lot of star players are playing at their worst, you could argue. You know, Shidobi Wuji specifically, he didn't really have a good game. But in place of Shidobi Wuji not having a good game, Eli Apple of all people stepped up, and I got to give Eli Apple 100% full credit for stepping up on the very last play off the defensive side of the ball, tipping that ball in the air and letting Logan
God,
Wilson make a
man,
play. That
that
was
was
all Eli
God.
Apple on that play.
That was such a great play. Like, man, I was so happy for Eli when he did that. Like, silence all the Eli Apple hate, even in the beginning of the season when I was skeptical about him. You know,
We all were.
I'm just so happy for Eli. He shows potential. He flashes here and there. He just got to be more consistent. Then he can show his potential. Just be more consistent, and you'll be at your potential. You know, but I give it up for Eli Apple, man. I really give it up for him, man. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, and I think this is a good way to transition into the Chiefs game now.
Yeah.
Um, Defense was absolutely getting torched the first half, man. But
God.
what changed? You know what changed the entire momentum of that game?
Yeah, I definitely know. It was one
Yeah,
play.
well, I'll say it real quick for you. the end of the first half when Eli Apple made that insanely clutch tackle on
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill to
Mm-hmm.
stop them from scoring any points. I mean, any points. They didn't get field goal, touchdown, nothing, nada. Eli Apple made that play when he needed to, and he shifted the momentum for the defense and the offense in our favor. So I got to give Eli Apple 100% credit without him making that tackle. If they score that touchdown there, we lose the game.
Yeah, most definitely. It wouldn't have been enough time for us to come back.
Not even just come back. The Chiefs' momentum would have been killed because they got a touchdown
Yeah, yeah,
or a field.
yeah.
Actually, no, yeah, a touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown, even though our field goal. I mean,
Yeah,
it was 5 seconds left. 5 seconds left, and we were talking about it as they were finna do the play. You could read Mahomes' lips. He said, "Let me go again." You know, and then
they
even you
got
could,
greedy.
yeah, and even if you see the end of the play when Eli Apple tackled Tyreek Hill, you could see Mahomes trying to call a timeout. But I'm like, even everybody in the AFC party that I was at was saying, "There's no time left, my guy. There's no
Yeah,
time left. You
it's not
use
even.
that."
It's not even that there was no time left. It's that they didn't even have any timeouts. I think.
Oh, that, yeah, that's what we were saying. There was no timeouts. That's what we were saying. That's what we were saying. Like, there's no timeout. Like,
Yeah.
but like you said, I agree with you. It did carry the momentum because a couple of players were saying like we rode that momentum on out. We
Oh
rode it
yeah,
on
for
out.
sure.
Like,
I mean, we don't really have to go in depth with this Chiefs game that much because really all we have to do to go over this game is literally look at week 17. you know, it literally went the exact same way. Look, Chiefs jump out to an early double digit plus lead.
we see what they're
Um,
doing.
we start scoring a little bit. We go into halftime down 11 after the defense makes a clutch play to whether it's a pass breakup on Tyreek Hill downfield or Eli Apple making that clutch tackle on the stop at the goal line. We go into halftime with a little bit of momentum.
We
We turn the
adjust.
page. We adjust. We use plan B. Lou Anarumo's defense completely changes the game plan and shuts down Patrick Mahomes' offense. Our offense starts delivering, coming back, and then, what was it? We get the tied game. Or no, we wasn't tied game. I forget how it went.
No, we
Son
did.
of a
We tied the game. Then
yeah,
we
but I'm
got the
talking about
ball
like
back.
I'm talking about week 17 though.
Oh, week 17. My bad. My bad.
Because I'm trying to compare the two, because it literally happened the exact same way. But
Yeah, yeah.
we get within the thing. Defense makes plays and clutch stops. Uh, and we set up Evan McPherson to kick a game winner. That was basically what happened. It was the exact same way. The only difference here is that the defense this time around got the 2 interceptions that they should have got in week 17.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like I was telling somebody that when we were watching the game, the AFC Championship, I'm like, yeah, if we would have got these interceptions in week 17, it wouldn't even have been close. We would have won by more than 3. It just so happened that this game that they jumped, they was prepared a little bit more than they were in week 17. That's why I kind of wish we only played them once, but it doesn't matter. They're the second best team in the AFC now. But
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you here,
no,
but
you good, bro. You good.
just to add on the thing, everybody keeps trying to say Eli Apple got burnt the entire game or whatever. He didn't make any plays first of all, he made that play at the end of the first half. He only got burnt in the first half because they kept putting 50-50 on between Eli Apple and Cheeto on Tyreek Hill for whatever reason. They went into halftime. They made the adjustment. They made Cheeto cover Tyreek Hill full time, which he didn't get a single catch or any yards, by the way. I just want to throw in there. And Eli Apple started shutting down his guys that he was supposed to cover. Can anybody find me one play where Eli Apple got burnt in the second half? Can anybody do that? I'm still waiting to this day. I've been asking for days, just for somebody to find a play where Eli Apple gets burnt in the second half. I can't find one.
Let's see what they say about Eli Apple here. Eli Apple, a game changing play every game of the playoffs. Oh no, most
Mhm.
definitely. I mean,
Mhm.
I
He had
mean,
a very good pass breakup on Bryan Edwards against the Raiders
yeah.
that should have and could have resulted in an interception. Tips the ball to Logan Wilson.
Oh,
And
not
of
to
course this
interrupt. Go back to week 17. I think it was a pass to Tyreek Hill in the end zone that he batted out of there.
yeah, I
Am I
mean,
wrong? Was that
uh
Apple?
I don't remember. It's been so long. I just I'm not even focused on that game too much anymore. I'm just playoffs. But it's just the main reason people are dogging Eli Apple, let's be real here, is
It
just
said
because
that
he's been talking a large amount of shit on Twitter. He's been talking a large amount of shit, and
I mean, but
I'll go ahead.
he been backing it up.
I mean, yeah, of course he's been backing it up, but people aren't going to see that. All these replies, like, and people trying to drop these low light tapes and everything. Everybody's using clips of 2 to 3 years ago and everything. Nobody uses clips of this season. I have yet to see an Eli Apple low light be used from this season. I've
Yeah.
not seen one yet. But I can understand why some people hate him because, he talks shit about New York and their fans. He talks shit about New Orleans and their fans and all that in the cities and all that. I can understand, that. I
But
mean,
they never gave him a chance.
I mean, well, they did give him they gave him a chance. It's
The
just
Saints?
the scheme and like the way he plays and stuff. They didn't utilize him correctly.
And the
Like
Raiders let him go before they even let him play on the field.
he was on the Raiders.
He was on their practice squad.
Oh damn! Wait, are you sure you're not mixing that up with the Panthers?
No, not mixed.
Wow.
No, that was
Okay, I didn't even know
Raiders.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that. But
Yeah,
you know,
Google it. But still, I'm
I
saying,
can
like, in a sense,
yeah.
I mean, besides New York, nobody really gave him a chance.
Yeah, I think New Orleans gave him a chance because I think he actually had a productive year somewhat in his first year in New Orleans, and then the second year he completely dropped off. But I can understand why some people will hate Eli Apple for shit talking a city because, like, if you're from that city, you cheer for that team or whatever, obviously that's gonna piss you off a little bit, and I can understand like he went a little far for that. But everything else of the shit talking he's done, where he's saying like Tyreek Hill and Demarcus Robinson just hit him up for tickets and all that shit, that was hilarious. I think that's completely justified, and he's backing it up, But overall, Jesse Bates, man, also we gotta talk about Jesse Bates. All three of these games, Jesse Bates has made complete game changing plays, and
Yeah, man, he
that
turned it to another level.
he
He's been on
he
another
saved
level.
he saved his best football for the playoffs. Pay
Exactly.
that man.
Yeah,
Pay that
definitely.
man. Pay that man.
Definitely.
He earned his money. Birchie Official says we don't talk about halftime coaching adjustments enough. That's been game changers all season and have y'all play. Yeah, I mean 100%. And you got to
Yeah.
I think you got to give a lot of that credit to Lou Anarumo mostly because he's the one who I think makes most of the adjustments.
Yeah,
In the
I see
locker.
the adjustments. I see the adjustments on defense and offense, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I think it's more apparent when you look at Lou and his defense versus our offense.
Yeah. Well,
And also, sorry not to interrupt, but one last thing though, I think that's also the difference with of what separates Zach Taylor from Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis refused to make any halftime adjustments. He didn't adjust very well. He didn't know how to change the game plan up in mid game that well, and it
yeah,
cost him a lot.
it did.
But ultimately, Zach Taylor has changed that script. He knows how to make in-game adjustments. He knows how to change the script.
I mean, you
he
really
knows how
can't
to do it.
survive in the NFL without adjustments, Vince. I mean,
It's crazy because I think Marvin Lewis, I think he was quoted on saying this. I think he said something about why would I make halftime adjustments? Like if I make a game plan going into the game, that's my game plan. I think that's something he said actually, which is crazy to even say.
I'm
But
so glad we got away from him, man. It's just crazy, man.
I'm happy we got away from him too. But remember, without Marvin Lewis and building the Bengals back up and stuff, and giving us competitive teams at least through all these years, I don't know if we're here right now with what we got, man. So I got to give props to Marvin Lewis for building the bridge for Zach Taylor and this team
No
to take
facts.
forward.
I mean, I don't take. I just feel like. I mean, we were talking about like the things that Marvin Lewis didn't do. Well, overall, I mean, I congrats Marvin Lewis. I mean, he came in after Dick LeBeau. I mean, Dick LeBeau had us. I think Dick LeBeau won 4 games his whole career. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. The players did not respect him at all. Like, look at the situation with Corey Dillon. We were just talking about this before the show. Corey Dillon took off his pads and everything, threw it in the goddamn audience. Like, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Cincinnati. Marvin came in and they made him and he made him respect Cincinnati to a certain extent. He made them get
100%.
he made them get their own Gatorade. I mean, he made them get Gatorade stuff that comes from the stadium. Players were bringing in their own Gatorades and stuff. Like, this was a bottom feed franchise. Players came here just to get paid. They didn't come here to play. They came here for vacation. He changed that. Like if you wasn't coming here to play, get the fuck out. And that's how Marvin was. He was just stuck in his ways. Like you said, I'm not changing my game plan. If this is what I
Mhm.
came here, if we practice this all week, this is what it is. Versus now, you know, more Zach, he's more observant. He's more like, okay, look, why will we keep running at this brick wall? Why not throw over the brick wall?
Yeah, he's more of a player's coach. He's more of a player's coach, and it obviously rubs off on the rest of the guys because he's won over this locker room completely. This entire team loves Zach Taylor, and they trust him, man. They believe in him, just like Zach Taylor believes in them, and that's a huge part of this team.
Yeah, totally. And I totally
Um,
understand.
yeah, but with that, I think that just about wraps up the playoffs. We handled business against Derek Carr, broke the curse. Went on the road against the Titans against all odds and won our first road playoff game. And then we go into Kansas City with the unthinkable happening, and we also win our very first AFC championship on the road.
Yeah.
And now we're in the Super Bowl, man, against all odds. And here we are again with our backs against the wall. People still betting against us. A lot of people are still doubting us. There was an article too heading into with this game right after our games ended and stuff saying, did the Rams dodge a bullet by playing Cincinnati instead of Kansas City? Yeah, you totally dodged a bullet playing the team that already has beaten them twice now in the span of 1 month over the team that has been looking mediocre and sketchy at times.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this, man. I'm gonna add to that. I'm gonna tell you the reason they think this is because of our O line. Our O
Mhm.
line is not a consistent enough for the national media to go along with the narrative that the Bengals is really the shiznit. So with that being said, they find the weakest part of your game and they dwell on it. They did it all playoffs, except for the Raiders game. But after the Raiders game, ooh, what they gonna do? The Titans is this and this, and it's very true. The Titans did come in and get 9 sacks, and then this again. I don't even see how they're gonna win. I don't. The Chiefs' defensive line is just gonna be too much. I mean, they need to protect Burrow. And it's the same narrative over and over and over. And I know Arian Donalds is the shiznit, and I know that
Von Miller.
Von Miller is the shiznit, but
And
we've been
don't forget Floyd too.
the whole D line, man. We've been facing it all year, all playoffs. What's the difference, man? What's the difference? What's the difference between any of these defensive line? Okay, what's the difference between the Titans D line and the Rams?
The Rams defensive line is mainly based off star power and these guys working off uh, each other's presence, really. The Titans, however, they work more as a unit. They use flush sets and more disguised looks to infiltrate the offensive lines and rush the passer. They move around a lot. The Rams defensive line, they kind of just stick to their own spots. However, it still works for them because Aaron Donald's absolute presence, and that allows Von Miller to go back to his vintage self in some ways and ultimately go to work.
Now, all right, that's cool. But my whole point is, it's still we've been facing premier defensive lines all year. Find another narrative. And
Yeah, 100%.
Burrow been working with this offensive line all year. Yes, they need to improve. Yes, we can sit here and imagine Burrow having an offensive line giving him 3 seconds. Then we're just gonna have a dynasty and we're just gonna shred every team. Sorry,
It'll happen.
we are.
It'll happen.
I'm telling you, if they ever get him a line, we're just gonna just shred every team. It's just and I'm the type of person. I'm so confident in my team. I know this is off subject, but we're gonna jump right back to it. That if when we win the Super Bowl, I will go ahead and just put the money on us winning the AFC North next year.
I would
Now,
be totally down for that.
now, saying we don't get any injuries, we're gonna win it again.
Even with a few injuries, like if Jamar Chase went down, I still have full trust in Burrow with a revamped offensive line to throw to Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins.
Yeah, most
You know.
definitely, man. I mean, the the end of, with Burrow, man, you win. You always got a chance to win, And back to this Super Bowl, I mean, we got to face Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Cup. That's about the difference in this game that I say that we didn't face all year, because we faced premium defensive lines all year. We pray we we faced quarterbacks that was better than Matthew Stafford. Now we might have not faced corners like Jalen Ramsey, so that's another one that we need to
Well,
chase.
let me think. We didn't play Jair Alexander against the Packers. We did play Marlon Humphrey. We did play Marlon Humphrey.
But
Uh,
I mean, he's up there though in age, ain't he?
not sure. Continue your point. I'll go back on that. I'll research it real quick.
Yeah, but I think that out of this Rams team, I think that we're facing another premier defensive line. We've been facing it all year. We're not gonna. We're facing a new receiving core that our defense is going to be facing that we ain't faced all year. Because I think Cooper Cup is a whole different breed.
I
Um,
have the information real quick. Would you like to see it?
yeah, let's run it. What does that say?
I don't know if it'll focus. See it?
25 years.
25 years young.
Oh
He's
yeah.
basically supposed to be in his prime right now, and Jamar Chase cooked that man first matchup for
So
200 yards. So,
how old
and I
is
mean,
how old is Jalen Ramsey?
Jalen Ramsey's older, I think. I don't know how much though. Whoops. Jalen Ramsey is 27 years old.
Okay, so he's still young, man. I mean, so they got different techniques, man. I think Jalen Ramsey, not to just trying to prove my point, but Jalen Ramsey's is better than Humphreys to me.
Mm-hmm. However,
Um,
I don't like Jalen Ramsey in single coverage against Jamar Chase. I think Jamar would absolutely cook him. I think they're gonna have to play safety over the top. Because if
I
you leave Jalen on an island with Jamar Chase, I think it's gonna be a long night for the Rams.
well, I think Jalen's too cocky, man. I think Jalen's like, I don't need this help back there. We'll go somewhere else,
I would like for him to do that. I would like for that.
and it's going to happen. I think they're going to make him have to put it over there. I don't think, like you said, I don't see them putting him 1-on-1 though.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But going back to the offensive line versus the defensive line,
Yeah,
Aaron Donald plays on the left side while Von Miller plays versus the right side. So basically, how that looks from the defensive side facing this way, Aaron Donald's pinned on the right side while Von Miller's put on the left end side. But when we're facing the offensive line side, Aaron Donald's on the left hand side, Von Miller's at the right edge side. So when you look at this, I'm more comfortable with our left side of the line going against Aaron Donald. We have guys who are proven, guys who can step up, and guys who have been the best players all season on the line in Jonah Williams, Quinn Spain, and Trey Hopkins to double and help somewhat limit Aaron Donald. Meanwhile, on the right side, however, you're going to have that flipping in and out with Jackson Carman and Adenji and Isaiah Prince right now. I would rather have Fred Johnson over Isaiah Prince because he's a bigger body and he looks a lot more comfortable there. But if that's what we have to do, we're going to have to use Drew Sample a lot. We're going to have to use Drew Sample a lot in this game to help block. That's what we're going to have to do.
yeah, and I like CJ Huzama more of a blocker than Sample. I mean,
Really?
yeah, I think CJ is a better blocker than Sample. I think Sample,
I don't know about that, honestly.
and I think Sample's soft, man.
Really?
Yes, I think Sample is soft.
I don't think he's exactly soft. I mean, you can say CJ likes to get more physical, but I feel like as far as blocking goes, I feel like Drew Sample, because that's basically what Drew Sample's been doing. That's basically been his only use on this team. Like, no disrespect to Drew Sample, but he basically his entire usage for this team is just a block, Like, you don't see him running routes. You don't really see him going out and having to run a curl route or something or go over the middle like CJ does. See, that's mainly CJ's job. CJ, I think, excels at those screen passes and them short passes over to the side. CJ likes to run out and block these guys in motion. I think that's mainly what CJ likes to do. As far as blocking stationary and helping these offensive linemen against the defensive linemen, that's what Drew Sample's made for, in my opinion. And I think I think he'll be a key in this game. I think Drew Sample is going to have to step up and make some key chip blocks and help the offensive line out, especially on that right side. And as far as that, I think you're going to have to see a lot more running with Mixon. I know we don't want to take the ball out of Burrow's hands. Burrow has to have the ball most of the time, but we have to establish a run somewhat. I think that's going to be very key with this game going forward, is establishing a run.
So while we talking about the tight ends real quick, did you hear the rumors? Well, the Twitter rumors about Tyler Eifert.
Oh my God, I've been all over that, man. It seems like Tyler Eifert wants to come.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at his page. He's on it bad. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go get a ring? I mean, it's really
for sure. And honestly, watching that 2015 team and everything, that Tyler Eifert was my favorite player on that team.
Tyler Eifert was the man. I mean, he just couldn't stay healthy.
He led the league in touchdown receptions that year. He over Gronk, over Kelsey. I mean, he was a beast. A beast. So, to be honest with you, I would like to see us bring back Tyler Eifert for this game. I would like to. I mean, plus if CJ's supposed to be on track to play because he just has a mild MCL sprain reportedly. But if for whatever reason he just can't suit up for the Super Bowl, man, Tyler Eifert would be perfect. He would be absolutely perfect for this game.
I just don't think it'll work out.
Unfortunately, probably not. But I'm keeping that faith, man.
I understand, man, but I mean, I just don't see the chemistry with him and Burrow.
Well, I mean, does Burrow really need the chemistry?
No, he doesn't. But he does.
he
knows his receivers. He knows where to put the ball and place it.
I know it helps, but I feel like Tyler Eifert, if he still got it, his route running is a little more crisp than CJ. I think he can find more ways to get open than CJ.
Yeah, I mean, I give you that. It was more crisp than CJ. CJ was the backup. Tyler was here. But yeah, to get back to the game, to move on to let's move on to the receiving course. I think that we got the advantage on the receiving course. But
I think that part's obvious. I think we do have the better receiver.
But I do think they pose a threat.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's going to be a lot of. I mean, you got to have two. You got to have two safeties back there. You can't let nothing get over the top because Cooper Kupp will burn you over the top.
Yeah. I think how we're going to play this. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put Chidobe Awuzie on Odell Beckham. Cheeto's going to be on Odell. We're going to play Mike Hilton over Cooper Kupp in the slot. And Eli Apple's going to have to guard Van Jefferson, which is going to be scary over the top. But as long as we're smart about it and we put safety help over Van Jefferson with Eli Apple, I think we should be good there.
But
Mike Hilton has been stepping up like insane. He's been playing at an insane level, like coverage. He hasn't even been really blitzing this playoffs. The one time he really blitzed or whatever, he got that tipped interception. But as far as a coverage corner goes, Mike Hilton has been playing out of his mind. Really, he's been he's way faster than what a lot of people give him credit for. I think Mike Hilton matches up well on Cooper Kupp. I think he's going to help a lot with one-on-one situations as far as that goes. Chidobe Awuzie, I think on Odell Beckham Jr., that's going to be one hell of a matchup. As far as their cornerback room goes, they got some decent pieces around Jalen Ramsey, but I don't think those guys are stopping Tyler Boyd or T. Higgins one-on-one. I don't think it's happening.
So, I mean, I know we're bouncing back, but, go back to the offensive line, defensive line. I mean, do you think that our defensive line really gives Stanford enough time to find Cooper long, deep?
Well, we look at this way. We didn't get a single pressure sack or fast sack on Patrick Mahomes last game. Every single sack we had on him in the second half, which was all in the second half, they were all coverage sacks. The reason Mahomes had so much time in the pocket was because he couldn't find an open man. He couldn't find an open man out of Tyreek Hill, Demarcus Robinson, Brian Pringle, and Travis Kelce, and even McKinnon.
Well, see, the thing about that game was
Well, all right, I'll let you go real quick.
I mean, I'm just adding on to what you're saying. I'm not going to go on this long streak, but the thing about it is they couldn't really rush him the way they wanted to rush him because he was always climbing the pocket. So what they did was they just said, just keep him in front of us.
And I think the thing with Mahomes here is he became impatient that game in the second half. I think he became impatient because a lot of the times when he could just step up, roll out, and run for a first down real quick with his legs, he just started spinning around in circles trying to find an open man, find an open receiver. I think that was a big part of that. Is just he got too greedy, he got too impatient, and it cost him. We have the guys who can cover. Matt Stafford doesn't have the kind of legs that Mahomes does. However, that does not mean Matt Stafford won't take off. Don't be surprised if Matt Stafford starts using his legs quite a bit this game. But as far as this game goes, if we're going to get pressure on Stafford, the secondary is going to have to play the best game it's ever played. And I hope they've been saving it up for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Back to what I was saying, I just don't. I'm really worried about our defensive line going against the offensive line, man, because we got to put some pressure on Stanford to make him cause those arrogant throws he does and those mistakes. Because if we don't put pressure on him and let him sit back there, he's just like any great quarterback. He'll shred you. He will, and that's my major concern. Can we get pressure on Stafford? Can Trey Hendrickson get around that corner? Can Sam Hubbard get around the
And
corner to put pressure on him? We ain't even got to sack him. Just put some pressure on him so he can just throw those mistakes he usually does.
and something interesting to look for, Trey Hendrickson will be facing Andrew Whitworth. That's going to be
Yeah,
interesting.
that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one.
And I hope Trey Hendrickson really uses his best trash talk for this game. Honestly, I feel like you could, if you mic'd up Trey Hendrickson, you could you could probably hear him calling, "Oh man, this 40-year-old washed up old ass man." I feel like he'd be saying
Yeah,
some shit like that.
I mean, I like Whitworth, but I think Trey Hendrickson gets the best of him. I think he's coming off an injury. I
I'm
think
not
he actually
I'm not
he's coming
sure
off
on
an injury.
that. I think what I've heard actually is Andrew Withers been playing. He's been playing pretty well. Oh wait, no,
I, he did
he did get injured against the Cardinals. I think he did. He didn't
but
play
the
the Bucks,
game.
but
Yeah,
he did play
yeah,
the Niners game. He played the
right.
Niners
He didn't
game.
play the Bucks, right? Yeah, so well, it's 2 weeks. We got a lot of time before the game, so
Oh yeah,
um,
oh yeah.
a lot of
Um,
players got time to heal up, especially our players on defense like Josh Tupou and um, matter of fact Trey Henderson. I think he was kind of limited a little bit. I think he can be this 2 weeks helps him out. I think it helps our whole defensive line out, honestly.
oh yeah, we need the time to recover because Jesus Christ, man, the injuries that 'cause Trey Hendrickson hasn't been 100% healthy at all
Right,
these playoffs.
right.
Every single playoff game, at some point towards the end of the game or whatever, he's had to take a seat on the sideline and he's had to like rejuvenate himself
Yeah.
because
Ever
his
since that
injuries. But
concussion.
no, it's more of the back injury he had against the Niners. Really,
Oh, okay. Because I know
yeah,
he had he was in concussion protocol after the Raiders game.
yeah, he had a concussion, but a concussion issue, but the main injury that's been bugging him is his back. His back has been what's bugging him. But what I'm hoping for is these next 2 weeks he'll have this time, heal up, feel a lot better, rejuvenated, and hopefully he's ready to go to play his best ball for the Super Bowl, man. It's crazy because this defensive line next year is gonna have Joseph Osai back. Like that's we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg of the potential of this pass rush right now. But what we got on the table right now is Sam Hubbard, who just played out of his mind last week. BJ Hill, who's stepping up in place of Larry Ogunjobi. DJ Reader, phenomenal nose tackle who can stop the run at will. And Trey Hendrickson, hopefully with this time, will heal up and feel a lot better and rejuvenated for these playoff game in the Super Bowl.
Man,
Um,
this is
going
great.
to and now something that I think we should talk about is matchups the Bengals can expose. I think one thing you can really expose on the offensive side of the ball, as far as this goes, is over the middle across their linebackers because their linebackers have not been that good. Their linebackers are very average at best. There's no real standout players like we have with Logan Wilson, Marcus Bailey, and Jermaine Pratt. Those guys are all standout players. As far as the Rams linebackers go, they aren't that good. They're not saying they're bad, but they aren't that good. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd over the middle is what I'm looking for in this game. That's what I'm looking for. I'm expecting a Tyler Boyd game. That's what I'm expecting is a Tyler Boyd game.
Yeah. I mean, it's due. It's due. It's like Tyler Boyd usually has a game every 3 games. So I think this is due. Um, Quietly last game, T had a great game. Quietly, but it wasn't like those like oh my god games
He
that
had
we've
over
seen in the
100
past.
yards, I think.
Yeah. That's why I said it was a quietly good game. Like it was over 100 yards, but it wasn't like wow. Like he usually does this. I guess he didn't have no spectacular catches. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I can definitely see T having a good game. I can definitely see Tyler Boyd having a good game. Um, I think that Jamar Chase has a great game, but you- I wouldn't really expect it because you're not going to really get him lined up on a linebacker like you will Tyler Boyd, like you said. You get Tyler Boyd lined up on a linebacker, and it's lights out.
Yeah, it's wraps. It's wraps if
You know
they
what I'm
on
saying?
that
And
play.
that's one of the mismatches you're going to be looking for in here to get Tyler Boyd on one of their linebackers.
Yeah. As far as the defensive side of the ball goes, I think a mismatch on the defensive side very well could be that interior line. I think the interior line, I think that's where you could see BJ Hill shine. I think BJ Hill could rip through for a sec, maybe even DJ Reader. But I'm not knowledgeable enough about the Rams offensive line. I still need to do research in that department. So everything I could be saying about their interior line, take it with a grain of salt. I could be completely wrong on that. But I know Andrew Whitworth, he's still playing at a good level, which is insane, man. 40 years old, still kicking ass at left tackle. All props to him. If the Rams win, I'll be happy for him, that he got a ring. But I won't be happy for that piece of shit owner. Like honestly, the Rams have a shitty owner. But I digress. That's not the main point. We're talking about the teams here. Um, as far as defense goes, it's really hard to find a mismatch on the Rams offense because everybody matches up well, you know. I feel like Mike Hilton with Cooper Kupp, I think that's a great matchup. Cheeto and Odell, another great matchup. Eli Apple and Van Jefferson, as long as there's safety help over the top, that should be a good matchup. Jesse Bates and Von Bell, obviously one of the best safety duos in the league. Linebackers should be able to do their thing and make a tackle, and defensive line is going to be competitive up front probably. So overall, it's hard to find just mismatches with this team, but
But
it's going to be a great game.
I think we see this team. I think we see our Bengals team level up again. Like it's something about the guys we got that you said earlier in the show, man. They've been in a lot of championship games. They've been there before. I think we see them level up. Like I think we see a lot of players just stepping up that we knew stepped up, but they're stepping up in a major way to where we're like, wow. Like I knew he had it in him, but I can't believe he did this. Just like I can't speak on the excitement and the wonders of BJ Hill with the trade for Billy Price, and then he gets an interception in key moments in the playoffs against a great team. This is if you, you can go back. When I started doing this, I said we were going to go to 11. I said we're going to win 11 games. It's here on YouTube. Um, but I said we're going to win our first playoff game, but I did not know we were going to go into the playoffs in this fashion.
Yeah, honestly, I think everybody's expectations have been completely blown out of the water. I
Yeah,
think this team, it's special. It's got so much potential to get better. 70 million set to be the cap space for us heading into this offseason. And we're probably going to get even more after we eventually or should cut Trey Waynes. After this, we're going to be able to have plenty of money to extend Jesse Bates, plenty of money to re-sign all these guys who were signed to one-year deals like Larry Ogunjobi and BJ Hill, and maybe even Eli Apple. But After that should be enough we should have enough left over. We should have about, let's say 40 something million, 30 to 40 million left over to go after and get some linemen. But before that's the glorious thing. That's the glorious thing about this is we're in February and we don't even have to worry about that right now. That's not the main focus because we're in the damn Super Bowl and that is insane.
Bruh, when the last time you see us draft pick 31 or 32?
Never. Literally,
This
not a
is
joke.
insane.
Not a joke. Not anything. Literally speaking, we have never seen that. We've never seen the
This
Bengals
is
pick 31 or
crazy.
32.
We always be the first ones picked. Like, soon as the draft come on, you're like, all right, y'all, I can't miss it. We about to pick here in the next 30 minutes. Like, no.
Yeah.
We're picking in the next hour and a half. Like, it's great, man. But I'm not trying to cut it short. We have been running long.
Yep, I think we should start getting to these X factors.
Yeah.
And some key who we think is what our bold predictions are and who's going to win. So let's get to it, Raxx. I want to hear your X factors first.
Well, I'm not really familiar a lot. Like, I ain't do a lot of research. We still got another week and we're going to do another show. But I'm not really familiar with the Rams, but just off what I've been seeing, my X factor for this game is going to be Jermaine Pratt on defense. I think that he gets another pick. I think that he steps up big and tackles. Um, I just got a good feeling about this guy on defense. I really got a good feeling. And on offense, I might have to go with T. Higgins. I know that Tyler Boyd would be in the slot, and he's going to do some numbers. But I just got a feeling that T. Higgins is going to show us why we're going to have to resign him soon and put some money on him. Yeah, I think that he shows up big for us in this game. Just his mentality to win 50-50 balls is just excellent. It's beyond. I mean, his catch rate gotta be 98 on Madden when it comes out. Uh, but yeah, that's my X factors for offense and defense. Before I say any more, what's your X factors?
So I got some unique X factors. I think on the defensive side of the ball, I think the X factor is going to be Eli Apple. When a lot of people look at this game, look at these teams, when you look at the Bengals defense and how they performed last week, a lot of people, a lot of casual fans and all that, they're going to point at Eli Apple and say that is the weak point of the defense. Attack him. That's what people are going to say when they look at this game. It is going to be up to Eli Apple to make plays, and I think he's going to have to be in position to make the most plays of his entire career in this game. Eli Apple has to step up. This has to be his best game ever. I'm going to get to it later, but for the defense, Eli Apple is my X factor because he's going to be the one who's going to be looked at the most. He's going to be the one that's going to be under the most pressure. And, even when I look at all these positions, even though he's been playing solid, he is the worst player on that field on the defensive side. It's going to be up to him to step up.
You can pick on him if you want to.
No, I can't pick on Eli Apple. I'm not.
No, not you. I'm saying.
Oh, you mean
defenses? Yeah. Like you can pick on him if you want to. I mean, he did just pop that ball up out of there. I mean, to Logan Wilson. I mean,
he almost had a game-stealing pick against Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, y'all can pick on him if you want to. The guy's not a slouch. He might not be the best, but he's not a slouch.
Yeah, but going to the offense side of the ball, my X factor on offense is gonna be Quentin Spain. Quentin Spain, I think you can make an argument, have been outperforming Jonah Williams, and I think you could argue he's the best lineman on the team. Quentin Spain's been that guy for us, and we're gonna need him to be that guy times 1,000 when he matches up against Aaron Donald. He's going to need help with Trey Hopkins and possibly Jonah, but Quentin Spain is going to be that driving force. He's going to be the main guy going one-on-one with Donald. Thanks. So it's going to be up to him to hold that block. It's going to be up to him to hold that passage. I know he ain't going to be able to hold them all game. He's going to break. Aaron Donald's going to break through. I'm expecting at least 3 sacks. I won't lie. I'm expecting 3 sacks.
I was expecting 2, but go ahead.
But you're going to have to be able to limit him. And you're going to have to give Joe Burrow enough time to at least make a key throw or two at this game that can help us win the game. That's gonna be what it's gonna come down to. So I think Quentin Spain is my X factor on the offense as far as trying to limit Aaron Donald and making it easier on the other guys. And on defense, Eli Apple, because I think he's gonna be the most attack guy on the field, and that he's gonna have to step up and make the most plays.
I like it. I like it. I really like it. So I guess I like those X factors. So I guess we can move on to the predictions. The predictions.
Let's start with the most wild predictions first. Let's say like throw out crazy stats.
Bold
And what we think bold predictions. What we think the most bold thing we're gonna do is first. So I'll let you go right ahead, Raxx.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Jesse Bates has 2 picks, 1 a pick 6.
So you got a Jesse Bates pick 6 going.
Yeah, 2 picks total, but one of them is 2 picks total. 1's a pick 6.
Woo-wee.
That's a bold prediction, brother.
Yeah, that is bold, but
you gotta speak it into existence, man.
Well, I'm about to speak something into existence, and you want
Okay, what
something
you got
bold?
for me? Yes,
You
sir.
want
What you
something
got for me?
bold?
What you got for
I
me?
got something bold.
All
I said
right.
I would address it. I said I would address it later when I was talking about Eli Apple. I'm addressing it now.
Okay.
I think Eli Apple lets his nuts hang, and I think he gets a pick 6 this game, and I think he shouts up all the doubters. I think he shuts up all the trash. I think he's going to get a pick 6, and I think Twitter is going to absolutely explode.
Man, if he gets a pick 6, Twitter and Facebook will explode.
That's who I'm rooting for the most to get a pick interception. Not even just the pick 6, just the interception at the very least. That's who I want it the most to be is Eli Apple.
Yeah, he really needs it, man, because I mean, he's been dropping a few sure pick 6 that's been game stealers. I can name a few he dropped, but he has made that one against Carr to seal the game the first time we played the Raiders.
Yeah. Let's get to predictions though, man. For game predictions. So, Raxx, tell me how this game is going to go and how it's going to end. What's going to be the final score?
All right. So the way this game is going to go, it's going to go like any typical Bengals game all year. Let me break it down to you. I just don't think it'll be as bad as the Chiefs game. I think we get down by 10. I think we get down by 10. I think we come back. We go up like 21-10. They score, and then we score. In the results, 34-21 Bengals.
So you're saying we're going to get down 10 and then we're going to win by 13?
Yeah, I think we're going to win by. I think we're going to score in our 30s, and I think that our second half adjustments is just too much for Matthew Stafford, and I think that the moment's too big for him because he ain't been there before. And I know you can say that about Burrow, but that's just my predictions, man. I'm tired of going in here these predictions and saying that we're going to win by 3. You know, it's just so typical, and that's what all the famous analysts say. No. The Bengals get down 10, then they come back and they blow them out.
I like that, man. I like that. As far as me going though, I think this game is going to start out back and forth. I think you're going to see 14 points between both teams in the first quarter. As the second quarter looms, I think you're going to see a lot of slowed down stuff. I think this is when we're going to start utilizing Joe Mixon more. I think Burrow takes at least 2 sacks in the first half, but they still I think it's gonna be like on first, second down plays and stuff, and they're gonna recuperate and they're gonna get those touchdowns. I think the second quarter comes, you're gonna see Joe Mixon run the rock a lot more, and I think this allows the Rams to pull out a little bit. I think you're gonna see the Rams go up 24-17, heading into this halftime. Third quarter, it's gonna be about dead even. I think they're gonna tie it up at 20. I think they tied up at 24. And in the fourth quarter, I think you're going to see a lot of defense played. I think you're going to see both teams step up. You could say 2 sacks in the fourth quarter for Joe Burrow too. I think It's going to turn into a defensive front, but then I think an interception will happen, fumble, turnover of some sort. And whenever we need a turnover, man, the defense always stepped up. They can give up 400, 500, 600 yards all game. They're going to step up. I think with about a minute left as they're trying to go down the field, they're going to either fumble, get a turnover, and I think the Bengals are going to drive down that field. Burrow's going to make some plays. I think you're going to set up Shooter for the game winner, and I think you're going to see a walk-off from Shooter once again in the postseason.
I mean, I'll take
that. And with that, I think the Bengals win 27-24. Shooter breaks Vinatieri's field goal record, and your Super Bowl champions are the Bengals. I can't bet again. I cannot say the Bengals aren't going to win.
Yeah, I heard it here first.
I just can't.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't.
Especially after last week, because guess what? They also won me money. You know, they won me money. Me and my dad, we put up $80 total on it. We put $40 down on the spread and the money line. I was going to put down 20 and 20 originally, but he wanted in on it, so he put down $80 of his money in, turned it to $220, and now we're splitting the winnings. So they won me a little bit of money, man. I can't pick them. I can't pick against them. I
get it, man. But I do gotta go, so I ain't gonna hold us too much longer. Make sure y'all guys subscribe to our channels, and make sure you subscribe to Vince's channel. Like he said, it's spelled distinctively, cursive, Vince.
And I know I haven't been uploading much, but we haven't been on the podcast much.
No, we haven't.
I will try. I think I might try to get a playoff recap before the Super Bowl in this weekend, just to keep like the video fresh and the channel fresh. I'm not sure though. We'll see how it goes, but it's either gonna be that or I'm gonna post the whole recap after the Super Bowl. And yeah, Raxx, tell them where to find your Twitter, man.
Yeah, you can find me at Raxx Jungle Fever Podcast. Just at that, you'll find it. It'll pop up. I'll make sure I put it in the descriptions. I'll make sure I put Vince's in the description and Vince's Twitter. But Vincent, go ahead and tell them your Twitter, even though it's in the description.
My Twitter is Q Smart Reviewer. It's all bunched up, all lowercase, no spaces. Very stupid @ I know. Oh well, you can find me at Sam Hubbard Enthusiast as well. I just got over 1,000 followers this playoffs too. I actually blew up a little bit. I went from like 900 to like 1,200 within like a day or two. It was actually insane.
That's great.
I know, but I hit that, so that was cool. I'm always jumping in Twitter Spaces too. I'm gonna try and interact with a few Rams fans on Twitter. Hopefully, Raxx, next week we can maybe get a couple Rams fans on this show to debate.
Yes,
and maybe we can see what we can do with that.
Yeah,
but
I'm definitely down for that.
As far as that goes, man, that's just my Twitter. Backup is also in my bio, so make sure you follow my backup Twitter in case I get suspended or whatever. Raxx, you should probably do the same. I know you don't tweet too crazy or anything like that, but just in case, because you know how some people are.
Yeah, I definitely will. I I actually got one. I'll just make sure you get it on there. It's my other Twitter. It's Raxx a Million, but I'll put the links in the description like I always do.
Of course, and again, make sure guys you subscribe, like the video, comment down below your thoughts, and what does this playoff run make you feel like, man? What does this playoff run make you feel like? How does it feel to know that the Bengals are in the Super Bowl and they have a chance to get the franchise's first ring? Just let us all know. Raxx, you can take it the rest of the way out, man.
And yeah, make sure you guys let us know who is your favorite player going into these playoffs. Who are you looking most likely to watch? Who was going to be your standout player? Put them in the comments, man. Me and Vince make sure we get to the comments and make sure to discuss it our next video Friday before the Super Bowl. So, hey, with that being said, we appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the subscribers. We appreciate everything. Hey, man, we see you guys next week. Hey, Vincent, you got anything to say before we out of here?
Who fucking day?
Who fucking day? Hey, we in the motherfucking Super Bowl.
It's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, it's that jungle fever, baby. Yeah, baby.
Put them one in the clutch. We don't give a what. Punch it in through the gut. Nixon on the rush. It's that Bengals.